year-old in a car going north on FM 93 made a left turn and crashed into the truck Rodriguez was driving. Troopers say Rodriguez was going south on FM 93 and did not have his seatbelt fastened. He was then thrown from the truck. The 19-year-old in the car was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. Victoria police are investigating the death of an 8-month-old baby. It happened this morning around 6 o'clock in the 2000 block of Sam Houston Drive.
One person has been transported to the hospital after a two-vehicle crash in Port Lavaca this afternoon. The Port Lavaca Wave reports the crash was at Main and Commerce Streets. Port Lavaca Fire Department, Calhoun County EMS, and Port Lavaca Police are on the scene. Wednesday afternoon, a vehicle crashed on U.S. Highway 59 northbound on the bypass at Louise. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office reports one vehicle was on fire. Traffic is down to one northbound lane on Highway 59 at Louise. A man in Sherman is charged with killing his stepmother with a hammer. According to an affidavit, 29-year-old Mason Craig confessed to his father that he killed his stepmother, Kathleen Craig. Police found her body on a bathroom floor. They believe Craig may have had a medical episode, possibly under the influence of narcotics. Craig's father says he has bipolar disorder. Craig has been charged with murder and is in jail on a $1.5 million bond.
The mother of 7-year-old Athena Strand is joining a lawsuit filed by Athena's father. KXAS reports the lawsuit is seeking more than $1 million in damages from the FedEx delivery driver accused in the young girl's death, Tanner Honer, and his employer FedEx Ground. The lawsuit says FedEx Ground was careless in hiring Honer, investigating his background training, and supervising him.
The Goliad ISD was dealing with a major water leak at Goliad Middle School this afternoon. Water was cut off at the middle school for repairs. Administrators relocated students to other buildings for the remainder of the day.
And with that, let's take a look at your forecast with First Warn Storm Team meteorologist Howie Gordon. Howie.
Thanks, Karina. We cracked the 90s in portions of the viewing area. I was talking with Don earlier. He's like, I can't believe it's February, it's winter, and we're in the 90s. That's right. There's places getting snowed in across the continental United States, Alaska included. Not down here. We're looking at some very warm weather. Now, what's going on? A boundary is going to come through, start to knock our temperatures down, but it will calm our winds as well. Here's a look at our temps. So, yeah, we won't be quite near 90 as we were today, but still 78, 82 degrees. That's looking very good. Winds calming down, and what does that mean? That's right. Again, looking at some fog moving into the area. We'll talk more about that coming up very soon. Karina, Don.
Thanks, Howie. Now, a controversial Trump-era border restriction will remain in effect for now. The U.S. Supreme Court ordered Title 42 to continue while legal challenges play out. The federal government uses the policy to expel asylum seekers without a hearing. The Trump administration placed this order back in March 2020 as a COVID-19 prevention measure. This means federal officials will be able to continue to expel migrants at the nation's border, at least for the next several months.
Reckless drivers blocked 4 intersections in Austin over the weekend. But when residents called 911, they say those calls went unanswered for several minutes.
Saturday, when reckless drivers took over 4 intersections across Austin, 911 calls went unanswered for several minutes.
We called 911 and waited on hold for 28 minutes before we reached somebody.
In August, CBS Austin reported on Austin 911's critical staffing shortage. At the time, their vacancy rate was pushing 40%. Low pay, mandatory overtime, and the mental, emotional load were taking a toll. Call takers told City Council about the problem firsthand.
I love my job. I just can't afford to do it.
We are hemorrhaging employees.
Sometimes we are holding 20 calls. Sometimes we are holding 60 calls.
Citizens on average are holding over a minute, and I know of one specifically that held for 45 minutes.
There's some things that we have done. I don't want to leave the impression that nothing has been done, but the problem hasn't been solved, and it took way longer to do that.
Councilmember Allison Alter has been concerned about 911 call center resources for over a year. Some steps, like increased wages citywide, were taken to address the need, but Alter says more needs to be done.
I'm confident with the new interim city manager and the focus of Mayor Watson, who I also reached out to Saturday night, that we will be able to make the changes that we need to and have long needed to.
Monday and Tuesday, CBS Austin requested an on-camera interview with Mayor Kirk Watson. We wanted to know what a solution might look like. Monday, he issued a statement. Tuesday, the mayor's office said due to the council work session today, Mayor Watson will not be available for an on-camera interview, despite that work session ending just before 12:30. Our follow-up email about afternoon or evening availability went unanswered.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is asking a state House subcommittee to fund the settlement in his whistleblower case. An agreement filed earlier this month says Paxton will pay 4 former top aides $3.3 million. The Austin American-Statesman reports the agency has already spent nearly $600,000 in taxpayer money on the case. Paxton says paying the settlement agreement is in the state's financial interest. With grocery prices continuing to climb in the U.S., Americans in 35 states are bracing for the end of the pandemic-era food stamps on March 1st.
And this sets the stage for a potential rise in food insecurity, bringing us to your viewer poll this afternoon. Scan that QR code on your screen to participate. The question is, should extra SNAP benefits continue due to high grocery store prices? According to these results, 47% say yes and 53% say no. We want to keep on hearing from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to participate. We will have an update on 25 News Now at 10.
The Dallas Zoo is answering some tough questions after security breaches last month caused a leopard to escape.
And this, of course, led to the theft of 2 monkeys. The zoo now says it has since increased their security.
Today at the Dallas Zoo, the once stolen emperor tamarin monkeys are back in their enclosure. The once escaped clouded leopard Nova is comfortably asleep on her perch. And visitors are flooding the zoo on an 85-degree day as if nothing ever happened. But of course, a lot has happened.
I have to tell you, we were all shocked and angry at the recent series of events.
And at City Hall on Tuesday, zoo officials asked to explain what they're doing to make sure the last eventful month doesn't happen again.
You've given me a lot of confidence today that things are going to be fine.
That praise after the January 13th escape of the clouded leopard, the January 30th theft of the tamarin monkeys, and vandalism and attempted theft at other enclosures. Because as a response, there is new perimeter fencing here, an expanded security camera system, increased security lighting, and a third-party consultant is studying if the zoo needs even more security measures. But as the zoo CEO told us, without making this place look like a maximum security prison.
It's got to be pleasing and aesthetically inviting. At the same time, it has to do its job with safety and security, because if we don't have safety and security, no one's going to want to come.
Meanwhile, the suspect in the theft of the tamarin monkeys and the vandalism that allowed the leopard to escape is still in the Dallas County Jail, reportedly confessing to those crimes. But the death of a vulture from a puncture wound is still a mystery and under investigation by Dallas police.
But these things kind of shake your confidence a little bit in humanity. I mean, do the right thing and the wrong thing. And for me, we have to make sure that we prepare for all different scenarios.
The scenario today, crowds have come flooding back, well aware there are more cameras watching and potentially even more to come.
Crestwood Drive between Navarro Street and Lawrence Street is now open to traffic in both directions. The reopening ends phase 2 of the Crestwood Drive reconstruction project. The city of Victoria says in the coming weeks, Crestwood Drive will have lane closures from time to time as crews make adjustments. Phase 3 will start March 6 and will last about 500 days. Crestwood Drive will close to eastbound traffic between Navarro Street and Main Street during this time.
The largest Lotto Texas jackpot in more than 2 years now sits at $46.25 million for tonight's drawing. The current jackpot remains the 3rd largest up for grabs in North America and 5th largest in the world. Tonight's Lotto Texas drawing offers a cash value worth $27.2 million. Here's some of the top headlines you can read in the Cuero Record this week. Congressman Michael Cloud meets with DeWitt County leaders and community members. DeWitt County commissioners take no action over the behavior of some district attorney's office employees. Plus, a local nonprofit looks to revive Cuero's historic Dale School. You can read these stories and more at DeWittCountyToday.com. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6, the Biden administration says it will cut mortgage fees to address the affordable housing crisis.
Also ahead, we continue to follow the aftermath of that toxic train derailment in Ohio.
News Center 25 at 6 and 10 is also heard on KVNN 1340 AM, Victoria's News Network.
It's a Stars and Stripes savings celebration at Lax Furniture. Get up to 10 to 50% off. Plus, get interest-free financing for up to 60 months and save an extra 10% off when you pay with cash. Plus, get free delivery. Find the pieces you need for every room in your home, like a 5-piece dining set for just $9.95 or a 2-piece reclining living room set for just $14.95. Shop the President's Day sale, held over through Monday only at Lax Furniture.
Go faster with 99.9% reliable internet from Optimum. Get 300 meg internet for as low as $30 a month with no annual contract. Stay connected on award-winning internet. Plus, Optimum has faster download speeds than AT&T nationwide, and now equipment is included for whole home Wi-Fi coverage. Go from 300 meg internet for as low as $30 a month to achieving more throughout the year. Call 866-9-OPTIMUM. Go to Optimum.com or visit your local store today. Call, click, or visit a store today.
It would appear that the butler did it. But this isn't a whodunit film. It's a Nissan sales event. Now that's a killer deal. Good thing this Rogue has a VC turbo engine, unlike RAV4.
Get 0% financing for 36 months on select models.
Catch these offers while you can.
T-Mobile covers 99% of people in America. So when we say we have your town covered, we mean it.
Where I live is a rural area, and the coverage has been awesome.
And great coverage is just the beginning. Families and small businesses can save 20% versus AT&T.
The savings we get allows us to do more things as a family. We're a one-income military family. Saving every month really does help us.
Plus, with our T-Mobile Price Lock, we guarantee we won't raise the price of your rate plan. Switch today.
Alex Fuller is reporting live from Bravo. The forecast for the weather is crazy. Whoa! And so is our sales forecast at Bravo Honda. We're taking every deal. Get 3.9 for 48 months. Who are we? Bravo!
With DirecTV, I can get live TV and on demand together. Football, Housewives. Football, Housewives. Football, Housewives.
Whoops.
Oh no. The Housewives are on the field. I repeat, the Housewives are on the field.
I just want to talk!
Who flips the table? All right, I get it.
Call 1-800-DIRECTV to guarantee your price for 2 years.
News Center 25 at 6 and 10 is also heard on KVNN 1340 AM, Victoria's News Network.
Today in Maryland, Vice President Kamala Harris announced plans by the Biden administration to cut the cost of mortgage insurance on FHA loans. The administration says the new policy would save new home buyers $800 a year.
What we realize is the monthly cost of an FHA loan is still too high. That is why today I am proud to announce that starting on March 20th, we are reducing mortgage insurance payments for all new FHA homeowners by nearly 40%.
This applies primarily to low and middle income home buyers because the reduction only impacts loans insured by the Federal Housing Administration. Those loans are typically more expensive than conventional loans. They are used mostly by people who can't afford to put a 10% down payment on a mortgage.
Nearly 3 weeks after that toxic train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, a preliminary report from the NTSB due to be released Thursday.
That report hopes to begin the process of determining what happened and how to prevent it from happening again in the future.
The Environmental Protection Agency has signaled that Norfolk Southern Railway will be required to pay for the cleanup following that toxic train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, nearly 3 weeks ago.
I know this order cannot undo the nightmare that families in this town have been living with.
Norfolk Southern telling ABC they are committed to thoroughly and safely cleaning the site, and we are reimbursing residents for the disruption this has caused in their lives. The rail company now says they've gathered 1.5 million gallons of contaminated water and 4,500 cubic yards of contaminated soil. Meanwhile, the Ohio Department of Health has transformed an East Palestine church into a health clinic for residents concerned for their health and who say they've been facing numerous symptoms since the derailment. 24 patients seen on the first day alone, and appointments are filling up quickly. State and federal authorities are telling skeptical residents that the water is safe.
We know things are right now, and we just need to make sure that in the future they're all right as well.
Former President Trump, who has been critical of the Biden administration's response, visited East Palestine Wednesday afternoon. The White House quick to respond to that visit, noting it was the Trump administration that withdrew train-related safety regulations. A National Transportation Safety Board spokesperson tells ABC News the agency's preliminary report on the investigation into the disaster will be released Thursday morning. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg will also travel to East Palestine Thursday. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Here's some of the top headlines you can read. The Port Lavaca Wave pilots in Matagorda Bay vouch for the deepening and widening of the Matagorda Ship Channel. Jerry Smith set to lead the Port Lavaca City Council. Plus, law officials make 21 arrests so far this month. You can read these stories and more at theportlavacawave.com.
As the wind settle, that's right, the fog's taking full advantage of that. We'll talk all about it straight ahead.
It's a Stars and Stripes savings celebration at Lax Furniture. Get up to 10 to 50% off. Plus, get interest-free financing for up to 60 months and save an extra 10% off when you pay with cash. Plus, get free delivery. Find the pieces you need for every room in your home, like a 5-piece dining set for just $9.95 or a 2-piece reclining living room set for just $14.95. Shop the President's Day sale, held over through Monday only at Lax Furniture.
Go faster with 99.9% reliable internet from Optimum. Get 300 meg internet for as low as $30 a month with no annual contract. Stay connected on award-winning internet. Plus, Optimum has faster download speeds than AT&T nationwide, and now equipment is included for whole home Wi-Fi coverage. Go from 300 meg internet for as low as $30 a month to achieving more throughout the year. Call 866-9-OPTIMUM. Go to Optimum.com or visit your local store today. Call, click, or visit a store today.
All right, nice winter day, February, right? Temperatures 90 degrees plus, right? That's right, only in South Texas. Well, maybe a few other places, but mainly here in South Texas. Beautiful shot in Cuero with some blue skies. Today, officially 88 degrees, some spots 90 plus here in the Crossroads. Almost 20 degrees above where we're supposed to be back in 1927. Yeah, right around 90 degrees as well. All right, here's our future temperatures. Now, boundaries coming through, going to slowly calm our winds as well as lower our temperatures. But when you go from 90, you get knocked down, and you only see highs in the 80s, well, hey, not too big of a deal. Not too big of a non-jump, if you will, in the reverse direction. I'll take it. 80 probably feels a little more comfortable. 90's on the hot side. We're not used to that, this time of year for the most part. But temperatures going to modify a little bit on the cooler side, but still overnight in the 60s. Low or high temperatures 68, or excuse me, high temperatures 78, 81 degrees. So looking pretty good. Dew points, yeah, those are taking a hit as the boundary comes down. We'll start to see these go down. But then, just like that, we'll see a return flow out of the Gulf, and we'll start to warm up with more moisture. And with that moisture and lack of winds, as winds diminish overnight from that boundary, this is what we're looking at. Yeah, fog's going to start moving back into the area. Visibility's going to get taken down once again. So you want to drive, look at it, 10 o'clock, still lingering around with this fog. So you want to drive on the safe and the slow side. I'm not lecturing you, I'm just letting you know, hey, please be careful out there. All right, here's our winds. As that boundary comes down, everything is calm behind it, behind that boundary, so it's going to settle everything in front of that boundary. So yes, our winds will be on the decrease overnight and into tomorrow. All right, here's that boundary. Here it comes. All right, it allowed for all that warm air to push into the area and then kind of modifying our temperatures a little bit, calming our winds. But just like that, we're going to see a return flow of a warm front right back up out of the Gulf. That'll keep our moisture levels on the higher side. This front doesn't know what it's doing yet. It's coming down. It's going to zigzag around. It's going to move back. Might pass through several days from now, but for now it's going to back off. But hey, with this moisture, yeah, we could see some showers. Here's what I have for the future tracker. You know, nothing too persistent, nothing too consistent, nothing too heavy. Wide open areas, not seeing even an inch of rain at all, or a drop. I don't want to say an inch, a drop of rain. But yeah, we could see a few sprinkles here and there, but nothing really to alter our plans for the day or for the days. Here's a marine forecast. Okay, here's what we have. Occasionally seas will be around 8 or 9 feet. Bays on the smooth side, though, so things are starting to settle by tomorrow out there on the water. In the evening, we'll be in the 60s. Overnight, only dropping to 67. But you saw that fog move in. That fog should be here until the morning. But then tomorrow, only a high of 80, right? We got knocked down to 80 degrees. I'll take that all day, every day. And pretty much we're staying around 80 for much of the week with a mix of some clouds and some sunshine. For more weather, news, and sports, you can go to our app. That's at crossroadstoday.com. That is free with any Android and iPhone. And now we send it back to Don and Karina.
Thanks, Howie. And now here is Zach Brown with your sports.
Spring training hasn't started yet, but should the Astros worry about one pitcher coming up in sports?
We know you always buy everything your family needs, like the best cuts from our meat market, a bakery with fresh goods baked daily. We are here to assist you, and you can grab fresh tacos. Supermercado Morelos. Live the tradition.
This is Ford Truck Month, Texas. Time to get up and get into Ford F-150, part of F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight. All amped up and ready for work or play. Plus, there's a great selection in stock and ready for delivery today. So get into Ford Truck Month, Texas, and see what a built Ford tough truck can do for you. Drive Ford F-150 with 0.9% for 60 months, 0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days, plus complimentary maintenance.
Have you been told you have to live with your wound? There is hope at PAM Outpatient Wound Care. At PAM Outpatient Wound Care Clinic, you'll find the latest technology and the most committed and caring professionals dedicated to your wound healing. Our experienced wound healing experts and multidisciplinary team specialize in preventing amputation and preserving limbs.
I began hyperbarics here. I'm walking and have the leg, which is the best part.
Come see us at PAM Outpatient Wound Care, where healing starts here.
Good evening, Crossroads. This morning, Victoria West had 4 players from multiple sports signed to play at the next level. DeAndre Fillmore, who played receiver for the Warriors, will take his talents to the Eastern New Mexico University Greyhounds. His teammate Carter Nelson was beside him this morning as well. He, too, will play at the collegiate level. Carter Nelson will be staying in Texas, going to Texas Lutheran University, located in Seguin. So he's staying near Victoria. We'll be cheering for him from afar. Softball season, that's underway, and Marissa Rosales is a big part of her squad. She signed to Lamar State College in Port Arthur. Congrats to her, but she's got a game to get ready for now. They take on Van Vleck tomorrow as part of the Ganado tournament. Lots to look forward to for her. And last but certainly not least, Skylar Schaefer will play at the University of Ozarks. The soccer star has repeatedly won all district honors and plays fantastic defense and described as being very versatile out on the field. She also maintains a 4.0 GPA. Congratulations to all 4 of those who signed this morning. Great things coming your way. And we shined a bright light on West, but unfortunately, last night's basketball season came to an end. But Edna did just enough to squeak by, their head coach screaming for just one more stop, and they got multiple stops. Late clutch free throws, overcoming a double-digit second-half deficit. He was out of breath after the game and called his boys the Cardiac Cowboys and says the name of the game is just advancing.
And this time of year, it's survive and advance. So one thing we have done all year in most of our close games, we found a way to win, and that's the key right now.
Next up for Edna, Crystal City at Fall City on Friday at 7:30. Senior Kevin Robinson helped lead the charge for the Cowboys, bringing them back late in the third. The second game in Yoakum saw Industrial take on Nixon Smiley. Both teams in the first quarter started off back and forth, had some flashy passes from Nixon Smiley, and in the end, Industrial just couldn't do enough to get out of this round alive. They fall to Nixon Smiley 45-38. Now from the hardwood to the diamond, the UHV softball team traveled to Houston yesterday to take on St. Thomas. They split the doubleheader, winning the first game by a score of 9-5, but in the second game, they only mustered 4 hits to go along with 3 errors, losing that game 8-1. Next up, they get Weber International in a tournament in Alabama. That's tomorrow. Astros star pitcher Lance McCullers will not be ready come opening day. He says it's a small muscle strain and is shut down for a few weeks, but nothing is structurally wrong. McCullers missed the 2021 World Series and did not pitch until August 13th of last year, and now he won't be ready for the start of this one. Head coach Tommy Pensick stepped down, and Hallettsville has found their new man. Levi Montgomery, who is assistant AD and assistant head football coach at Cuero, is going about 45 minutes up the road to the Brahmas. That's it for your sports. Dawn, back to you.
Zach, thank you. And we're back in a moment. Friday the 13th was a pretty lucky day for one person in Maine.
Victory Kia and Victory Buick GMC want to let you know that you can lean on us. We will award $500 to a deserving winner. Drop off an entry form at any of our participating dealerships in the Lean On Me drop box with your story and contact info. Go to crossroadstoday.com/leanonme for more information or to enter online. You can tune in every other Thursday at the 6, 9, and 10 p.m. news to view our winners. Lean On Me is sponsored by Victory Kia and Victory Buick GMC.
My ex just posted a picture with a girl.
That girl is Hideous Mozart.
She's not.
Ugh, I know.
Should I be worried?
Nell's fine. She just needs like a little nudge.
You guys are trying to set me up on dates? I am a professional woman journalist. Woman.
I hear that really opens up the palate.
I'm me. 1, 2, 3, no apologies. I'm me.
A daycare fired 4 employees after this video surfaced showing workers there frightening children.
The reaction in my daughter's face, it was just true terror.
They were trying to discipline the children?
That's right.
My son's daycare was under investigation for abuse. They were holding kids down with their legs for children that weren't going down for nap time. Not a day goes by that he doesn't slap himself in the face because of what they did to him.
New Dr. Phil.
Need weather around the clock? When the weather changes in the Crossroads, you need a reliable source. Visit Interactive Radar online for the latest conditions in the Crossroads area. CrossroadsToday.com. Weather at your fingertips.
Finally tonight, at least one person in Maine does not think Friday the 13th is unlucky. A person has claimed the $1.35 billion Mega Millions jackpot won at a Maine gas station last month. According to the Maine State Lottery, the person will remain anonymous. The jackpot win from Friday, January 13th, was the second largest Mega Millions jackpot in history. The winner chose the pre-tax cash payment of $723.5 million. I call that really lucky.
Really lucky for a 13th? Yeah.
Yeah. Now, how many things, what was the first thing you would buy, Karina, with that much money?
With that much money, the first thing I would buy, probably a house.
A house?
A house. Beachside view.
Beachside view. What about you, Howie?
The car they've been promising you for half a year now, Don. That's what we have to start with. And Dan Marino, number 13, he was pretty lucky. All right, we're seeing the moisture move back in from the Gulf. We're seeing winds start to settle. So what does that mean? That's right, fog could be a problem again moving into the viewing area. So you want to slow it down out there. Don, Karina?
But was Dan Marino lucky on Fridays? Thank you for joining us. Remember, we're streaming 24/7 Crossroads Today Plus.
And we hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 10.